A tough opening hole which plays slightly uphill, with a tough green to hold on to, as anything just right of center will fall off to the right of the green.
and stuff like this.
So you're very welcome back to St. Anne's this afternoon, and we're joining the intermediate group here now as they've just started to head out for their final round. You're taking in the first green. This is Colin Hennessy with a putt for par, and he just gets it in the side door. Good stuff, Colin. And you'll just see on your screen in the top right hand corner, Donald Duggan is in fact the marker for this group.
A scenic downhill shot which is very tricky, as a big bunker lies before the green. Being short of the green may bring the downslope into play, and any ball that falls off the back of the green faces a tough second shot.
Killian with his pitch down the hill, and that's just gonna roll into the perimeter of the green, so that's a good chance there now for Killian. Again, if you're just joining us back for afternoon coverage here in St. Anne's, you might see it's a little bit brighter, and it looks like the rain has decided to take a bit of a break for the time being. Wind is starting to pick up though, so that will again be a factor. Donald has a good strike in, it sounds really good, and that's a good ball, just needs to hold on. Perfect. And here is your leader, Colin Hennessy. In the very, very famous polo shirt associated with golf, Mr. Tiger Woods would always don it on a Sunday in a major championship. Colin, no doubt taking some inspiration from that and hitting a great ball into the second, so that's a really good ball, and he's got a good opportunity for two. So we're really starting to come to the business end of the competition, and what's been an eventful weekend, to say the least. Again, just a great reminder of what a superb sport we have, and a fantastic community in terms of everyone that got involved yesterday and supported when assistance was needed. And Donald kicks it in there for his par. Again, just for reference, Donald is a marker in this group, so Killian Courtney has a great chance for birdie. That's travelling, and it looks quite good, and it's absolutely first class. That's the best push I've seen on this green today, maybe all weekend in fact. So that leaves Killian up to 9 under par, and Colin will be looking to follow suit. that just goes past.
Similar to the first, plays slightly uphill and has a fall off to the right of the green. Another hole where players must be up, which can lead to a big opportunity if one finds the green.
So we're just joining back up with this group again on the third hole. And Killian with a few keepy uppies. Just waiting for the group ahead to make way off that green. So this hole would be quite similar to quite a few of the holes in Nina and Tipperary. As you can see up here, Colin so back with Killian, so back onto that green. You can utilise the bank, like some of the banks in Nina in Tipperary, which we've seen at the over 55s a few weeks back. Most elect to pitch the green. There you go, that's a great example, using the bank, spinning back, and that's an opportunity then for Killian again to get to double digits. Again, there's Donut. No doubt he's enjoying the action, right in the mix, right in the heart of it, with the guys at the top of the table. Nice experience for himself. And he's pitched a decent ball there. As you see, those flags starting to really pick up now. And when they're blown like that, you really are starting to have a look at aiming maybe left of flags and right of flags, depending on which way the breeze is blowing. But yeah, it's starting to get a little bit trickier. And here's Colin. He's keeping a close eye on that. Now that needs to spin. He's done brilliant. That's exactly what I was referring to. So Colin has another strong chance to get to 11 under par. Greens are starting to quicken up as well now. That breeze is starting to dry them out. And again, guys will be hitting putts. These guys haven't actually stopped now for the last couple of hours, so they're playing it as it's drying. So that's obviously quite helpful. But I know the seniors, it could be a different story later on when they're hitting their first few putts, because it's going to be a lot quicker than it was this morning. A lot of that moisture has now been taken out of the greens with the breeze. Now of course it could rain between now and then, so that may change again, but as things stand, they're starting to only get quicker. As Killian elects to chip with the Cleveland wedge. It's a good effort, just came up a little short. This is really turning into a competitive final 18 holes. We've got three guys right in the heart of it, and Colin now looking to take a 2-stroke lead, at least in this group. And that's just evaded him, and that's a chance gone. He'll be disappointed with that now, based on the fact that he was on the green. Yeah. So we've got Cian Mulcahy and he's putting for birdie on the 4th. We will get a update on the score there shortly, but I believe that's for 11, I believe.
The shortest hole in the course is not truly reflected by its index. A tough pitch which has 2 trees and bushes before the green, coming onto a firm green. This hole is a chance, but can trouble some players.
So, as you just see there in your picture, off to the left hand side, Cian Mulcahy of the Collins Club tips off to the 5th, having holed out on the 4th green from about 12 feet for birdie, and that's taken him to 11 under par, so we've a new leader. And to be fair to him, he's played some exceptional stuff early on. And here's Killian into the 4th, and that's took a kick. That needs to sit, and it's not done so. Again, that's just down to the fact that these greens are drying out. So you've really got the first maybe 2 or 3 yards on this green where you can pitch into, and the ball will check up. But if you're any further in, you're in trouble. As Donald pitches, and Donald's just kicked off the slope as well, and that's ran on. So Colin is probably aware of what's going on in front of him, but regardless of that, he'll still be looking to put his best foot forward here. So playing well, and that's a great example. Just needs to pull up. There you go. And we've seen a ball pitched to a very similar location earlier by Dan Condon, and that stopped right on the hole. Whereas now it's ran out, and that's a 5-6 foot putt back up the hill. But again, that's a great chance for Colin. Of course, there'll be plenty of locals cheering on Colin as things start to come to a head later on in this round. So this is Donald here now. Donald's just chipping up, and that's just come up short. So you've just seen Donald pick his ball up there. Just for reference, Donald is a marker in this group. So doing the sensible thing, picking his ball up and just not delaying any of the guys that are taking their shots. And Killian's left that short, and that's going to come all the way back to him potentially. No, it's managed to hold on. But this is trouble here for Killian. Just needs to compose himself, because this is a very important chip. If he can hold this, which he has, it's excellent from Killian, and that's huge. That could be absolutely massive later on when it comes to the business end of the competition. That will definitely feel like a 2.5, so to speak, walking off to the 5th. That's an excellent chip in. Here with Colin to get to 11. And that's brilliant. And the locals acknowledge that.
A steep uphill shot, which leads to a green sloping from right to left. Players need to be conscious of going long or left, as it may lead to a difficult second shot.
That's Cian, isn't it? Cian Mulcahy. Now, so we're just joining back up with Colin after a quick fly over the hole, and I can just tell you that Cian Mulcahy has actually chipped in on this hole up on the green, and he's now got to 12 under. So this is really turning into an absolute cracker of a competition. These three guys are going head to head, and we're starting to get more noise coming from the crowd, so you can tell there's more people in to take this in. The greens are absolutely packed. And this is just a chipped in a moment ago from Killian. Absolutely first class, and to be fair to him, he got it rolling, and it always had a chance the minute it left the club. And there's a big sigh of relief there, because that could have been very easily a drop shot. And again, that did put, to be fair, that did put the pressure on Colin Hennessy with that put then, and have to give credit where it's due. He stepped up and he got it straight in. There was no doubt it was going anywhere else but the middle of the hole. So here he is now, just assessing this hole. This again, with the breeze yesterday, was playing incredibly difficult. I'm sure it's starting to get a little bit more complicated now with the breeze picking up again. You're pitching up this very, very steep hill. You're probably playing it, I'm going to say, close to 60 metres. And you need to be very accurate with that pitch. Colin doesn't look too impressed. It's just off the left-hand side. Now, it's not too bad there, but it is an awkward chip. You can't see the hill. That ball is just at the rolling off. It is quite steep. But no doubt he'll fancy his chances of up and down. Killian. He needs it to go, apparently. Yeah, he's short. It's swung back. It's not too bad there. I suppose he's got plenty of green to work with. So. And here's Donald again. Again, I'm sure this is definitely helping with Donald marking, because it just slows everything up that little bit. Where, you know, and the other alternative is the guys are out in the 2-ball on their own and they're held up on most holes, you know, by no fault of their own or anyone else. It's just the way it happened to be. But for sure, this is definitely helping. There's Stephen Lynch, who was playing yesterday. A lovely swing. I think everyone appreciates all these superb slow-mos coming in here now as we're waiting on the guys to transition. There's some puts from earlier on, and there we are. Ryanair, not too far from Cork Airport, so we are. Colin with his chip. And that's a good effort. Probably wanted it a little bit closer, so he's put himself under a small bit of pressure there. He's got a putt from right to left coming up just shortly. A big shout out to Mr. Kyohan in the background there, who's keeping us up to date with all the scores as well this afternoon out on the course. This is Donald now. And again, he's probably just gonna roll that in and get out of the way for the guys. So again, not an easy push. Colin has a bit of work to do here. That chip that he had on his hands earlier, I know firsthand that it was a difficult chip up the hill, just trying to play it perfectly, but he needs to be aggressive with this. He hasn't hit it, and that's broke, so it looks like we've got a new leader by 2 strokes. So Cian Mulcahy is 12 under, and then this is to stay 9 for Killian. This is going to break from right to left. Has to be firm. Brilliant. Well done. Good man, Killian. It's great to see guys holding their nerve in situations like this because it's not easy.
Which players cannot see the green as it is blocked by a grass bank. No real danger on this hole, meaning a birdie opportunity for players.
So another further update on the group ahead. So it's now 3 shots. Cian Mulcahy's gone to 13 under. So what a start to Cian's final round. He really has started fast and out of the traps, and he's put a bit of daylight between himself and Colin now. Killian just behind as well. So things are really hotting up here as we start to head toward the back 9. We're not there just yet, but we're heading to the 6th here now. As you've seen the flyover a moment ago, there's a bit of a gap between the mound just in front of the green there in front of you on the screen. Killian's hit a great ball there, as you can see there just a second ago. And then Donald's just off the left-hand side. So Killian's in a good spot here, and he's got a chance to get to double digits now. And Colin will be eager to respond after dropping his shot on the last hole. And that's a super ball from Colin Hennessy, and that rightly gets a round of applause. So that's what the guys have ahead of them there in terms of putts for birdies. You would be fairly confident that they would both make them, but this is Championship Sunday, the All-Ireland Strokeplay, and there's a lot more pressure on those putts now than there ever will be. So again, this is Donald again, just for anyone that might be joining us. It's actually marker. He's a marker for this group. So Killian for birdie, and this putt will break from right to left. I'd say maybe go just outside the hole and firm. Yeah, brilliant. Well done, Killian. It's always positive to see balls travelling to the hole from that sort of distance at pace. That's a sign of confidence. That's a sign of somebody that feels they're fairly confident and going to make it from that sort of distance. And Colin in the side door. And we're just going to take a quick break. We're going to link in with Cian Mulcahy of Collins. Last we checked in, he was 13 under par. And again, the slow-mos, massive credit to the production team. Done an absolutely fantastic job with the coverage, providing incredible shots. It's just shown exactly where the game is headed, which is all positive. And as I say that, Frank's putt pops up where he's not too happy there, but there's a great sense of optimism going forward with how these events are being put out into the mainstream. And that just goes to show the three guys the great picture.
A short hole which has a grass bank short of it, with a long green laying behind it. Players will be eyeing up a birdie on this hole, but miss on the wrong side, and players will face a tough test.
So we're just linking in with the leader. It's Cian Mulcahy. We're just seeing on screens he is 12 under par. And that's as we approach this small. The guys are going to pop into screen any second now. The 8th hole, 32 metres up the hill. As you can see, plenty of spectators in now to take in the action as it all starts to come to a head. There's Cian popping into screen now. Credit where credit's due, he's really starting to step up to the mark here now. So Cian was 13 under, but he's that's okay. Has a shot up the hill. So yeah, just a quick correction there. He is still 13 under par. That's a decent ball. Again, put up the hill. And here's John O'Shea. So John's not out of it, but he needs to get a move on if he's going to have any say in this. Sounds good. It's a good ball, yeah. So John has a great chance to get to 8, and that'll, if Cian doesn't get his putt, that gets him to within 4. So and just a quick update for you. Aidan Spence Murphy from Claycastle has gone to 9 under par, and he's a little bit further ahead of these groups, so he's still in the mix as well. So we've got five guys in with a great shout going into the back 9 on this final round in the intermediate section. So here's Cian. Okay, and this is to get to 14. This really does, if he gets this to go, it makes a serious statement to everyone else around him. He wants this travelling at the hole. Give it a chance. And it's gone by. Yeah, he gave it a go. And to be fair, it's going to be, he's ever so right to mark that, yeah. Because there is a little bit of work left in that. That's not as straightforward as people think, you know. Donald. Very respectable That was James rather. Donald's up next. I say John rather. So John to get to 8 under. Just going to break from right to left. Maybe a ball out. Brilliant. And he gets it. So John O'Shea puts a serious statement into. He's gone to 9 rather. So John's gone to 9 under par. So he's even closer than we thought here in the commentary booth. And this is James to tidy up for par. Good man, James. Well done. So keen to tidy up. It does want to break. It should realistically solid. And he's done that, yeah. Straight to the back of the hole. We'll take over onto the next hole.
A picturesque downhill shot, which leads to a flat green, but a big bunker, lies just off the right-hand side of the green. Players cannot be short as everything will kick down to the right, heading for the sand trap.
So we're joining up on the 9th hole now in just a second with Keane. Just had that fly over. Here's John down the hill. That's a great shot there, great angle, and that's a great ball. That's, yeah, a round of applause is well deserved. Keane just taking a step back, line himself up. We've just been told that Colin Hennessy has a gimme on the hole before to get to 12 under, so a couple of quick birdies brings him back to within 1. And this really is like it's just a birdie fest at the moment, which is absolutely fantastic. It's what we want to see, and I can promise you it's not easy here. These 3 guys have made this hole look very, very ordinary, and I can tell you now this is a hole that could quite easily lose you a championship. A lot of stuff kicking from left to right. Guys have found the right side of the green this time. That young man looking to get his hands on an intermediate title, and the way he's playing at the moment, you wouldn't put it past him. But again, we're heading for the business end of the competition. If you happen to be watching on YouTube, feel free to engage in the comment section and even give the stream a share if you don't mind. Who wouldn't want to be watching action like this when it's so touch and go? You don't know who's going to take it. There's 4 or 5 guys with a really good chance. Keane with a chance to get to 14 under, and again just make a statement. That took a bit of a jump, and it's just gone by. So So John O'Shea for birdie. Now this is a couple of balls out on the, I believe he's aiming out right here, but yeah, I had that from left to right and that's what it did. So yeah, just a bit of a misread there from John. But tidies up for par. And then this is James Byrne for birdie as well. So again, this is probably a little bit left to right, not too much. And yeah, that's brilliant. Well done, James. Makes that look very simple. In fact, it wasn't. Downhill push. Now, these are the testers. These sort of putts are what will define who will be our champion in the next hour or so. Again, this does move from right to left. And he's done well. He's just buried into the back of the hole, so well done.
A tough shot to start the back nine, with trees all up the right-hand side, which can come into play depending on pin position. Green slopes from back to front, meaning players long of the green face a tough challenge.
So the guys are just checking in with their scores here now, as they reach the halfway point of their final round. As we've got some spectators taking in the action. And John just jumps up onto the tee box. So this is the last hole we're going to take in on this group, and then we're going to move back to, and this is James Byrne rather. Very similar. The only thing really distinguishing the two is the shorts. And that's a great ball from James. That's a super ball into that green. That's a very, very difficult hole. And again, I found that out firsthand yesterday myself. Some big scores there personally. Not my proudest moment. But again, these are the guys that are at the top of their game at the moment and playing really well. So keen to be looking to stick this close. Looks eagerly. That's a great ball. The spin just takes it that little bit further back. You'd love to be able to pick their brains and see what they're thinking. Would you prefer put that little bit further back, or in comparison to maybe being that little bit closer to the hole and probably expecting to make it, whereas that it's kind of a bit of a free hit up the hill. There's John. John's pitched a decent ball by the looks of it, and that's excellent as well. But there you go, the spin. A big mention to our score takers on the course throughout the course of the weekend, doing some superb work. And again, just this is the junior grade, so sorry, this is the intermediate grade, excuse me, that we're taking in. We might take in some junior action a little bit later on. We'll keep you up to date as we kind of get to the conclusion of the juniors. Whereas now we're right in the thick of it, the action, the intermediates. And they're looking for a local winner here, and it looks very likely at the moment with the way things are going. And then the seniors later on, that's going to be an absolute cracker. Damien Fleming, 3 shots clear. And it's All Ireland final day on Sunday. Anything can happen, but he looks like he's in pole position. So, here's John up the hill. And he's got that rolling. and that's a good effort. He's very unlucky. It actually finishes behind the hole, so a great effort from himself. Taps in for par. So Keane again. He's had a couple of chances at birdie since getting to 13 under, but hasn't been able to utilise those. But again, this is a great chance up the hill. I really fancy him now if he's been confident with his putting. So I'm really thinking he'll have a go at this. And he does, and he gets it. Absolutely super from Keane. And that gets him to 14 under. Really fancied him with the way he's been putting today, and you can see what that means to him. He means business. Good man yourself, young man. A smile. He's right to smile. That's a super put under the pressure and under the circumstances. And James has another put to keep the honour, which he takes. Good man, James. Just tipping along nicely. So we're going to leave those guys for the time being. There's Keane again. Look at this. And it's a great, the ball's rolling end over end and falls in the side door. Brilliant. That really is an exceptional putt from Keane.
The longest hole on the course, surrounded by danger as a big sand bunker surrounds the front of the green. Hitting the green is essential as balls can take big bounces with the firm surfaces around the green.
You're very welcome back to St. Anne's in Cork. And we have a major update that we will give you in just a second after John O'Shea pitches the 14th, 65 metres down the hill. And that's took a kick. It's not too bad. And here he is, the leader. Keaton Mulcahy, as you can see in your top right corner, he's got to 16 under par. He's 8 under through 13 holes here. Absolutely unbelievable intermediate score. He looks on there now as that's a good ball. He's actually big. Surprising. That's the first person I've seen big on this hole all weekend. As James Byrne, the final player in this group, tees up. But it's been an absolute humdinger of a half an hour with the pitch and putt here. Keane really has just put his foot down on the accelerator, and depending on how Colin's going behind him, this could be wrapped up in a couple of holes, as James is a little bit short in the bunker. That'll have to test him. And credit where it's due. Here's his last putt. This was an absolutely fantastic putt on the 10th hole, up the hill and right in the side door. Bingo. To get to 14. And we did take a brief break there for a couple of minutes as they tipped off to the 11th, and Keane followed up then with another couple of birdies between 11, 12 and 13. So we really are witnessing something special here, and the next kind of half an hour or so we should be looking at the final couple of people in contention coming into the clubhouse to sign for their cards, as James chips out, and that's not a bad effort there. He's given himself a chance of getting out of there with a par. Not the easiest of putts, but definitely one that could be made. Just has to tend to the bunker first before coming away. Always rake your bunkers. You won't see it now, but there's quite a big crowd following this group now up on the hill, as John O'Shea really needs to make everything from here to the finish to have any chance, and that's unfortunately not going to be the case. He actually, if you'd just seen it, John was just at the bottom of the hill there, but you do get that's ground under repair, so you can get a drop in the circle where Keane is there, or there's one on the far side as well, no closer to the hole. That's what he did, but couldn't make the most of that drop. Of course, that would be a free drop with ground under repair. And James has a good effort there for par, but he's left the mini shaker coming back. I'm sure James is enjoying himself out there this afternoon. Keane has a chance of a chip at the hole. Not seen too much of him chipping around the greens because he's been so good and pitching onto them most. So, but that's a good effort. He's a little bit frustrated with himself, but he's playing exceptional stuff here. So just needs to take his time and knock that in, and that's another significant challenge out of the way. And my money says he birdies the next 15th, which is a short 31 metre par. They're all par trees, but yeah, you know where I was going with that. Here's John O'Shea. Manages to save par. That's a good effort. Just the pace was the only thing that let him down there. That was a good line. Just didn't hit it. So John's going to drop back to 9 under. And James now is for bogey as well. So he's going to drop back to 4. All going well. That's brilliant. Well done. So there we are. Lots of locals and even some from further afield. Mr. Ben Phelan.
The easiest hole in the course, according to Index, is a great opportunity for players to birdie. A short pitch with a flat green, with not too much danger around the green.
Now, so, just seeing the quick fly over. This green is fairly, well, this hole is rather fairly straightforward. One of the easier holes on the course, so Keane will be looking to put this close. It really is just a flick. And he actually left that a little bit. I think he got a kick onto the green. He looked a little bit concerned that he had left it totally short, but now that's on the dance floor again. And it's a putt to get to 17. And John, his race is probably run now based on the last one, but he's not hit that well. Well, he's a bit critical on himself there. That's the best ball in there out of the two so far. I think he may have just clipped the mash, and I think we all know what that usually means when we do that. So there's nothing wrong with being your own worst critic in this game. It's just striving for better. As James has a nice swing. It's a good ball. Go on, have a go. It had a look. So that's a good pitch from James, and we were holding out for a hole in one there, and again it's another close call, and that's to it in 3 feet for birdie. So Keane will go first, and he's got to put that swinging from right to left at the hole. And we're just staying with this group for the moment. If we hear anything back from the group behind, we will keep you up to speed on that as we hear it. But as things stands, Keane is in the driving seat here, and he could put his foot further down on the accelerator. And he has. It's absolutely brilliant from Keane Mulcahy. Brilliant. And I'll tell you one thing, he's nearly there now. He's fairly close. He knows himself how big that is. And again, I think anything outside of 10 feet, he just looks so confident over. As John has lined up his push. I think this might swing from right to left just at the hole. No, it didn't. It didn't swing at all. So John knocks in for par, and a very respectable performance this far in the championships for himself. James this is actually for birdie, so to get back to 5 under after dropping a shot on the last. Again, these guys are strong intermediate players in their own right, and Keane has just absolutely blitzed the field.
A flat tee shot which plays on to a flat green means players will be looking to capitalize on a scoring opportunity here. Players cannot be short, and if a ball lands left of the green, players could find themselves in trouble. Just a highlight there again. We're watching back the replay, and what a push.
He just seems to be getting absolutely everything. So he's 9 under par through this round. And that looks good from his point of view. That's not too bad. It's a little big. He'll have a chip back up the green. And as you can see, that's not straightforward either. That's swinging from left to right. Right to left, as you would have seen it on your screens there. And here's James now. This is a fantastic shot. You've seen the fly over a couple of seconds ago, but really is a true championship shot as you're coming towards the end of your round. And James gets a rather fortunate and then an unfortunate bounce. He's just behind that bush there. Now, here's John. Hopefully he's not giving himself any criticism after this shot, considering he was very harsh on himself after the last pitch that he took. That doesn't seem too bad. Seems happy enough, and that's fine. Up the hill. So there you go, the little bridge. Just a great piece to a superb hole. And I'm sure that's played part in many of people's downfall on this hole at some point or another. We're trying to get you some sort of update now in the next few minutes about the groups behind. Mr. Johan is following those guys quite closely, so as soon as we have an update we'll get that straight to you. But at the moment, Cian Mulcahy is in the driving seat as we head towards the last couple of holes. So here's Cian. And that's a great chip. Can it go in? It's a super effort, and even when he looks like he's in the slightest bit of trouble, he just steps up as cool as a cucumber, and look at that, leaves it to it in 3-4 inches of the hole. That's world class, Cian. I tell you, he's actually a little bit disappointed that he didn't hold it, and I tell you one thing, if I was in that position, I would be absolutely over the moon with that, given it's not the easiest to chip around these greens, especially with the movement there that he had with that ball going from left to right. Here's John O'Shea, and that's a nice effort as well. It had a chance going by the hole, but again you see there's quite a lot of undulations in this green, so that's certainly not in for 3 yet. Here we are with James. And we've just been informed that Killian Courtney in the group behind did have a hole in one, and that's brought him back to 12 under par. But by the looks of it, depending on how Colin is going, we'll try to get an update on Colin now in a moment, but it seems like the ship may have sailed. And as things stand, Cian Mulcahy is storming towards an intermediate title here on Sunday afternoon. So John O'Shea to tidy up for par. Killian is 14 under. So we're not done with yet, but again it's Cian's, it's in one hand for Cian here at the moment.
A blind tee shot from the tee box disguises the pot bunker. green has increased in size, meaning the pitch has become less intimidating and has now become a hole where players will be looking to birdie.
As we just take in Keane's pitch there for the 16th hole, absolutely unbelievable to leave it that close. So Keane's pitching in, and there you go, look at that for a picture. Absolutely fantastic. That bank absolutely packed with people. Many more joining in from different parts of the country, and even internationally speaking, which is great to see as well. And Keane hits a good ball in here that should spin. It's just held up outside, but that's fine again. He's avoiding all the trouble. He knew that without being too long, clearing that bunker was exactly what needed to be done. We even have some of the senior players taking in this action as well. That'll tell you how good it's been this afternoon, how good Keane's been. Has John pulled that a little bit left? He has, but he's got a nice bit of spin back off the bank, and that's a push dash he'll fancy. James, John Walsh at the top of the hill taking in the action. John will be out there later on now in the senior grade, where Damien Fleming is the man to catch. That's a good ball from James Byrne. And it looks like we're starting to see more people filter down towards the 14th, where that hill is, so one would assume that Colin Hennessy and Killian are making their way to the 14th. So it's going to get really busy here in the next couple of minutes. And that man there in centre frame is absolutely flying at the moment. And we've got Killian Courtney putting. He actually missed, Killian Courtney just missed the putt to get to 15 under. So again, Keane will be looking to hold this with the way he's chipped for the last hour or so, but he hasn't hit that one. And again, that's probably the first time he's hit an average shot in over an hour, so I think we can give him a little bit of slack when it comes to that. And again, that's where the championship moments are decided, but so far he's answered every question that's been asked of him so far, as John O'Shea has a putt to get back to double digits. Wouldn't it just be brilliant to see him get this? It's very unlucky, but that'll tell you the swing on that push. It's not easy putting on these greens, guys. Not easy at all. And you can even see all, like, such as the quality of the camera, you can actually see sand in that green. And that again, those sorts of things that are in the green will affect. So if it's not a pitch mark, if it's not sand, it can be the tiniest little fractions that can just offset your putt. Take it from where your intended target is. As James has a putt here, I'm sure Keane is looking for a read, and I'm sure he got one there off that. So I'd say we're looking at the first knee shaker putt that Keane has had in quite some time. So this is to remain 9 under par for this round, 17 under in total, which is seriously impressive. So he just wants this rolling end over end, and that's exactly what he does. And straight in, heart of the hole, was never anywhere else.
The finishing hole has many dangers, bunkers short and left of the green. Green slopes from right to left towards the bunker, which will add for a bit of excitement for the final hole of the championship.
So, Keane comes here with a 3-stroke lead. The guys obviously have a couple of holes more to play. But, as things stand, this is exactly the picture that you're looking in front of you is what separates Keane Mulcahy from potentially taking home an intermediate All-Ireland title. And he just takes a breath, good man. Take your time. These guys are just finishing up on the green ahead, so he just needs to gather his thoughts here. It's not a position I've ever been in, nor will I think I ever will be myself personally, but one would imagine there's 1,000 things going through the head and you're just trying to slow the heart rate. Even just the movement there, he just needs to just try and steady himself. That's it, just slow everything down. So again, you've got lots of danger here, so it's a real championship shot. 2 trees, as you see, left and right of him. Bunker straight ahead, just short, and bunker left. Ah, look, there he is, the man himself, Barry Morrissey. What an absolute legend of the game. Always at every competition, all the nationals and provincial titles, he's always there as a spectator if he's not participating himself. Good man, Barry, good to see you, buddy. As here we go, this is the shot now. And Keane is watching on, and that is a super pitch under the circumstances. Absolutely fantastic. And that's a chance to get to 18 under. I genuinely cannot believe that I'm saying that. After seeing the course this morning and how slick the greens were and how they were jumping and doing all sorts. There wasn't that the greens was anything wrong with the greens, it was just with the rain that fell overnight. They were just really slick. We've seen a lot of guys struggle earlier on, but they've dried out a little bit here now, and even so, Keane has really blown the field away here. Not a total done deal, but you would imagine now at this stage he will be looking to sink that putt if he can. Best case is 3, and then worst case is 3 rather, and then we're looking at the 2 guys on the way in then afterwards to see if they can conjure up something special. Stranger things have happened, but as it stands, that man there heading up to the 18th, and look at that, that's phenomenal. That's absolutely brilliant to see as well. So many spectators there's to take in the last hole for this young man, and you can't say he doesn't deserve it. He really has been exceptional. The last hour and 30 minutes or so have been an absolute privilege to watch. Hopefully you're enjoying it at home, because it's been absolutely unbelievable to take in. So here's John O'Shea, and this really does, not that John intended to leave his ball here, but this really does help with Keane's next shot, because he's going to get, well, he might have got some sort of indication as to what his ball will do, but didn't quite get there, so you would assume that this is going to swing from right to left at the hole. Again, just coming out of the first cut, if it takes a hop it can throw it elsewhere. And there's, just looking at the high quality pictures there's a couple of pitch marks as well. And that's gone raging by, and that is not in yet. But stick a marker down, take a step back, take a breath. Good man, that's exactly what you need to do. Make sure you clear off any things that may interfere with your ball getting to the hole. James here for birdie. That's superb from James Byrne. Very well done. So, for par, Keane is 4 feet away, maybe 5 feet from posting 17 under for 72 holes. And he gets it, and that's superb. Keane Mulcahy, take a bow, young man. Absolutely fantastic. Superb from Keane. And as it stands, we're not getting any word from the group behind, but it's a hole in one needed in order to. And that's the lads just wrapping up now. They'll sign for the cards, and Keane looks behind. He's probably not sure. I'm sure there's people feeding some sort of information. So here we are. This needs to be hold. And that's it. Keane Mulcahy is your 2025 National Strokeplay Champion in the intermediate section. Well done, young man. Well done. Unbelievable shooting. 9 under par in the last round. And yes, pats on the back. Very well deserved. And even with everything that's gone on yesterday, it's great to see the sense of community. Smiles on lots of faces there. Very popular winner. So, just so you're watching back some replays from this morning, and earlier this afternoon rather, and we will resume coverage shortly with the juniors as they start to conclude their final rounds on the 14th. So we'll link back in maybe 10-15 minutes, so go grab a cup of coffee, don't go too far. Plenty more coverage coming up after this short break.
The easiest hole in the course, according to Index, is a great opportunity for players to birdie. A short pitch with a flat green, with not too much danger around the green.
Now, you're very welcome back if you're joining us for our coverage here in St. Anne's this afternoon. And we are joining Mr. Pat Sheehan in the junior grade, who is absolutely blowing the field away this afternoon. So at the moment, Pat is 12 under par, and his closest competitor is a fellow Cork man from Fermoy. That's William Fitzgerald, and he's 1 under par. So we are going to stay with these guys for the remainder of their round. This is a 2-ball, so they should move along fairly swiftly. And look at that. Isn't that great to see? Mr. Keohane taking cover. And it's brilliant to see, I suppose. You know, the final few holes, I know, you know, things are kind of technically wrapped up here, all in all, unless it's an absolute calamity, but you just don't see Pat doing that. It's good to see the guys having a bit of a laugh and a joke as they head down towards the last few holes. So Pat just chipping up and going to take his time now. This is going to be a swing. He's aiming out quite far. Okay, so I didn't expect that to happen, so maybe just needs to compose himself here now, Pash. Having to okay, well look, that's a 5. Still 9 shots clear, and not ideal to be taking 5 on probably the easiest hole on the course, but look, this can happen. These things can happen. I had plenty of 5s myself out on that course yesterday. I know it's a difficult circuit, so William wasn't able to make Joe the birdie. And as you see the planes flying over Erlingus, it looks like he's heading into Cork.
A flat tee shot which plays on to a flat green means players will be looking to capitalize on a scoring opportunity here. Players cannot be short, and if a ball lands left of the green, players could find themselves in trouble.
So that was the 16th hole, as the juniors are starting to come to the conclusion of their championship. Pat Sheehan is 9 shots clear of this man from Fermoy, Mr. William Fitzgerald. And look at that, great to see a smile on the face. William watches on, and that's got a lovely bounce off the bridge, and that's Williams put himself into a grand spot there. Now Pash, just after last hole's mistake, that's one way to calm yourself down. And that's an absolutely super response, absolutely brilliant from Pat. Now, they say smoking's not the best thing for your health, but it certainly worked wonders there, whatever's in that. So, he's managed to compose himself, and that's what he has for birdie. That's a putt that's going to swing from left to right down the hill. So, Again, the last couple of putts have just been a little bit shaky. This is not from the sort of distance he putted previously, but just needs to take his time. I think the 2 ball can sometimes go against you as well in these instances where you're not as long standing over your ball before you're having to take your shot. As William has a go, and I think he's just going to finish off. No, he's not. He's going to stick a marker down. So, cameraman's got us into an excellent position here. We're going to see this putt absolutely perfect. So it should swing from left to right just as it gets to the hole. Now again, pace will be a factor here. That's got perfect, brilliant, well done. That's a great picture there. Well done to the cameraman. A nice swing and putt, left to right. William Fitzgerald tidies up for par. And
a blind tee shot from the tee box disguises the pot bunker. Green has increased in size, meaning the pitch has become less intimidating and has now become a hole where players will be looking to birdie.
so here we are. That's that man just in frame there a couple of seconds ago rather. Damien Fleming, the man on top. And the chasing pack have started their final rounds. We'll be linking in with them in just a short while as we take in some fantastic slow-mo pictures. A massive credit to the production team for the super coverage this afternoon. Gave us the best of pictures, as you can all see, and I'm sure you're enjoying at home. Mr. Deneen. Not to be for him today, but he's a serial winner. Not too happy with himself there, but I'm sure he'll be very proud of his performance so far. Jason Cregan also in with a shout there in the seniors as we're back here to Pash. And that's a good pitch. That's a good spot to be in. Could have easily spun back off into the pot bunker, but didn't. And isn't that great to see? All the St. Anne's faithful out watching their pal in their club colours. And William, now that's, well, first of all, whoever was in that bunker last has made an absolute mess of it, and that leaves William with a little bit more to contend with, so that's not ideal. But there's the man of the moment in the junior grade, Pat Sheehan. Well done. As you can see, there's a lot of whoever's raked that bunker needs their P45. And to be fair, William, that's all you could do there, buddy. Now, give us an exhibition on how it's done, bud. Good man, that's how it's done. Now, some investigating now. We'll have to find out who that was. Show them up as William shows the lads how it's done. Now, it'd be great if he chipped in for his par here. He deserved that now, having to contend with a lie like that. Go on, go on. Ah, unlucky. So William drops back to level par. I believe he's going to knock that in. He is. I thought Pat was going to kick it in the hole there. Good man, William. Unlucky, buddy. Be nice to see a birdie the last now and make up for that. So, here's Pat. And that's fine, well done. Couldn't see him, the ball just behind him there. And he's going to kick that in. Brilliant. Good man. And there we are in the commentary booth. I'm hiding away just off to the right. So we're coming to the conclusion. Our soon-to-be junior national champion in the men's stroke play, Pat Sheehan from St Anne's, and very well deserved. As we're taking in some of the highlights from earlier on in the day, Mr. Mulcahy. Back to the live action. And Pat, a huge following, and isn't it great to see all the children out taking in the finals, the future of the game, and that's obviously something that everyone has a.
The finishing hole has many.
And Pat's hit a super ball into the 18th, and that receives a warm round of applause, rightly so. Now, I'm really shouting for William now after the last lie he got. Be good. And that's a super ball. That's brilliant. Be great to see him make that birdie now, and that'll make up for the rather unfortunate lie he had from the bunker on the previous hole in the 17th. Again, a couple of pitch and putt legends there spectating. Again, Barry Morrissey. I believe that's Nicky as well from the Collins Club. And isn't that just a picture? The 18th green, looking over the city. Fantastic. And the rain has held off for us, thankfully. And it looks like it's only going to get brighter as we come to the last couple of shots for these guys. Go on, William. Put it in, bud. Brilliant. Well done. Very well done to William. And he gets a round of applause, rightly so. It's an excellent shot. Now, I'm sure when this goes in, if it goes in, that'll be a rather loud. And there you go. Your 2025 junior champion, Pat Sheehan. And a massive round of applause and plenty of cheers for him. And that is absolutely unbelievable what he's done now over the last 2 days. To go and finish that score 12 under par, and rightly so, takes the acclaim from all of the spectators. And there you go, look at that, that's a brilliant picture. That's a really nice picture to see now. All the St Anne's folks congratulating their winner after yesterday's rather unfortunate incidents where a lot of the St Anne's members sprang to action and managed to save the life of one of our own. And that's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Well done, guys, fully deserved. And again, this is all secondary. Main thing is that man's on his way to recovery by the sounds of it, from what we're told. He's doing well at the moment, which is great to hear. And look at that now for a picture. Well done, guys. That's absolutely fantastic. Your intermediate champion, Cian Mulcahy, 17 under par. And I'll tell you one thing, he's absolutely blitzed the field. And the lads that finished just behind them in second and third were really, really strong inters as well. And no doubt he'll be seriously mixing it with the seniors now going forward, Will Keane. And more luck to him. Really nice young fella from speaking to him afterwards. Some fantastic images as we start to heat up now with the seniors. And we're going to be, just had word, we're going to be joining in with the leader, Damien Fleming and Jason Cregan. And they're out on the course now into their final round. Things are really starting to heat up. Damien, the man to catch. And there's another man that's not out of it yet, John Walsh. Or John Cahill, rather. Kieran Earls, rather unfortunate with a 5 on the 17 today, and as a result that's put him a little bit further back than he would have liked. But there he is, the man, Damien Fleming, 27 under par for 3 rounds, and we're just having some cameras being repositioned by the team, and we'll take in that action.
Similar to the first, plays slightly uphill and has a fall off to the right of the green.
We get to see
another hole where players
best
must be
of the
up,
best,
which can lead to a big opportunity if one finds the green.
So, here we are, Damien Fleming, 4 shots clear. Jason Cregan has just dropped the shot on the second. The man in picture. He is the man in the driving seat, target on the back, but that's something he's very, very used to. Of course, he's a former winner, winning the national match play and the Strokeplay championships previously in 2018 and 2019. So this is familiar territory. 16 holes to play, 4 shots clear. So 48 meters up the hill, and I could hear that from the commentary box. It sounded good, and that's fine. So everyone else in front of him, they know that they're chasing him. And Damien, when he's out in front, he's a hard man to peg back. And this fella, Jason Cregan, 23 under par. Needs to spin, doesn't get it, but that's fine. Jason shot an incredible 12 under earlier on today in his first round this morning. Had obviously played yesterday as well, 1 round. Slight change to the format for the senior players given yesterday's incident, and as a result, seeing the guys play 3 rounds today. So they're just making their way up to the 3rd green here. Both players just off. Again, I think that's down to the greens drying out. Balls are just flying through. It's been very windy in the last, well, I wouldn't say very windy, but it's been windy enough to take all the moisture out of the greens, and that just emphasises how good Keane's victory was earlier on in the intergrade, and also John in the junior. So there's Jason. He really needs to start try-holing these to have any chance. He's hit that well, and that is absolutely superb from Jason Cregan, and that really puts pressure on this one now for this. I don't know if he's going to chip it or put it, but he's nailed that absolutely to perfection, and it just puts a little bit more pressure on Damien to hold this to keep his 4-shot advantage, and he's going to put it, and there's a bit of a bus here. He's missed that. So now he needs to take his time, because that really does send a message. Jason's not here just to make up the numbers, nor is any of the other chasing pack, to be fair. And Damien just needs to take his time over this, back of the cup, and he does do that. So 3 shots now as we take in the next hole.
The shortest hole in the course is not truly reflected by its index. A tough pitch which has 2 trees and bushes before the green, coming onto a firm green. This hole is a chance, but can trouble some players.
So just a replay of Jason's putt. Absolutely fantastic. Of course, putting from that sort of area off the green, there's a little bit of luck involved that it's not taking a kick off the line, but again, he was firm and aggressive. Now, and this is the 4th green. This is John Cahill. And this is a putt for birdie, I'm told. Just runs by, kicked in. So as we get some scores coming in, we'll keep you up to date with what's going on. This is the group in front, so these guys really need to be making these putts, because if they don't, they're not going to make any further progress on Damien. And to be fair, George McGreal, he's very much going to be part of that chasing pack. That's very well done. So there's a man deep in thought. He's looking for a drink there from somebody. I'm sure there's one of the spectators. We'll sort that out from now in just a second. So this is, look at this for a shot. How straightforward but complex to hit a 27-meter shot. 2 trees, a big bush, sloping green away from you, and he's hit a good ball here. That's a superb shot from Jason. So again, he's just put the pressure on Damien to go and hit a good shot, but again, this is Damien's, this is his stomping ground. This is what he plays pitch and putt for. Nice club twirl, happy enough? Yes, and that's an excellent response. So we should be looking at 2 birdies there. Both guys receiving applause of the crowd. Jason, watch this, bang, and stops. Yeah. So, very good. Hope you're enjoying the action if you're watching from various parts of the country. There's easily close to a couple of 100 people out on the course now as well, which is really nice to see. As great as it is to have you all joining us here. So Damien just outside of Jason. This is a putt for birdie. Should be expected to make this. And he does. Very straightforward. And Jason just has to kick in now. And then they'll be off to the next hole, which is the 5th. 57 metres up the hill. Again, much easier today than it was yesterday. Even though there is a breeze now that they're playing into it. Not as strong as yesterday was. And Jason dispatches that very, very easily. So we'll give you a show of the next hole.
A steep uphill shot, which leads to a green sloping from right to left. Players need to be conscious of going long or left, as it may lead to a difficult second shot.
So the guys just taking a moment to group ahead, and whilst the guys are doing that, we'll give a very quick shout out to Mr. Barry McDonald, tuning in from Forteventura on his holidays. Hopefully the sun is splitting the trees for you down there, buddy. But what else would you want to be doing? Taking in this. And that's a superb push. Well done to George. There's a good crowd in here now, as you can see. And even Mr. O'Driscoll taking in the action from southern France. So plenty of people from overseas tuning in. Great to hear. Let us know where you're tuning in from in the comments. And maybe you can give the link a quick share. And John, that was very, very unlike John. So much so I thought he had got it. I was rather focusing on other bits and pieces. But again, that just goes to show you can't take your eyes off this for just a minute. So, Jason Cregan, 57 metres up the hill. 25 under par. That's big, and it's not too bad. It's not great, but it's not too bad. Here's Damien. And that's he's club twirl, and that's a bit short, but that's fine. Pitch up the hill. So the two guys, two great competitors, really going hole for hole. There's the team. Well done to those guys. Brilliant work again today. Making myself and Mark's life very easy. Fair play to Mark Johan out on the course, giving us all the updates on the scores, as we really are getting to see the best of the best live on YouTube. True full-time production, so well done to those guys. Now, plenty of fluids. Good man, Damien. Important to hydrate. Just kind of gives you a chance to just kind of take yourself out of the scenario as well, I'd imagine. Because it's quite, yeah, they mightn't seem like it from the look of it on the outside, but I'm sure there's lots going on in the head and plenty of concentration required in order to keep yourself cool, calm and composed, as Jason's going to elect to push. That needs to pull up. That is not looking too positive. He would have been hoping for that to pull up a lot sooner than it did. So Damien puts this close. Serious pressure on. That's a good chip. So you'd expect Damien to knock it in. Now, we did see a second ago with John Cattle that sometimes even the best of the best can make a slight mistake. So he needs to give that all the respect it deserves, and no doubt he will. So, Mr. Cregan, this is to save par, so I've no doubt this will be travelling at the hole. That's a good effort. It's just not got there. So, Damien gets that little bit more of a opportunity for breathing space. And he taps in for his par, so we're back to a 4-stroke lead.
A tee shot which players cannot see the green as it is blocked by a grass bank. No real danger on this hole, meaning a birdie opportunity for players.
So, great flyover of the 6th hole. And as you can see, there's just a group ahead there that are finishing out. And after that, then these guys. So, I suppose it's not it depends on how you take it and what sort of player you are. But me personally, now I think that this will only help. Just kind of, it's not even a delay. It's just a small kind of break in play before you get up onto the tee box and pitch, which just gives you a chance to compose yourself. So here's Damien now. Downwind. Club twirl. And that's a really good ball. Yeah. So I would be saying Damien will probably get to 29 now in the next couple of moments, and he's really putting his foot on the accelerator here. Jason is just trying his best to stay in touching distance, and that's another good ball. So he's really showing his class at the minute, is Damien. I'm sure there's plenty of lads that have just gone through for 9 holes there on their final round, so if we get any scores coming back to us, we'll get them out to you. And of course all the scores and details are up on the PPOI page alongside the link for the stream. Jason Cregan has a putt for birdie here. That's a great position for the cameraman, because we're going to see exactly what this putt's going to do. You can see he's aiming way out left, and this will no doubt be swinging at the hole as it gets there. Just needs to make sure he has it hit for pace, and that looks very good. Just needs to get there. Oh, he didn't hit it. So again, in the last 3 holes there's been a lot of change, so we're looking at a 5-shot lead here in this group anyways, for Damien over Jason. Yes, that's exactly what we have as we take in the next hole.
A very intimidating tee shot, as the green has fall-offs from each side. Players need to avoid being long, or a high number could be on the cards.
The guys are just waiting for the group ahead. There he is, the man of the moment. Plenty of superlatives that could be used for Mr. Fleming this afternoon. That's a good ball in again, and that's ideal in terms of where you want to be putting on the screen. So for the last 2 years, Damien's average 7 under par per round playing pitch and putt, and to his usual standards, he'd probably say that he'd be looking for that to be a little bit lower as well, which is scary. But again, that's how good these senior guys are. Absolutely unbelievable. So Jason's been fantastic today as well. Credit where it's due. So good to see them chatting away as well, given what's at stake, an All-Ireland title. I'm sure that will continue, and as we get towards the end of the round, it'll probably get a little bit quieter, which would be understandable between the two. So I think it's going to be Jason to go first, or rather it's Damien, is it? No, Jason, yeah. So Jason has a putt for birdie, and I think if we just get the camera on here, I think we're looking at it now. I'm going to say right to left putt, but again, not too sure now. This could actually go the opposite way, looking at the hole there now. Yeah, he's not hit that. That was in the jaws It actually had a couple of breaks in it. So Damien just lets that chance go by. Should knock in for par here. And which he does. And we're off to the 8th. Another great hole.
A short hole which has a grass bank short of it, with a long green laying behind it. Players will be eyeing up a birdie on this hole, but miss on the wrong side, and players will face a tough test.
Damien pitches here, 32 metres. That's okay, that's acceptable here. Jason needs to start putting these close if he's going to start making inroads. That's fine, yeah. So we'll get some sort of read off Damien. So just while the guys are looking after housekeeping, give you a very, very quick update. So for the updates through 63 holes, John Walsh, Kieran Earls both sitting at 22 under par. Frank Deneen has got himself to 21 under par. Frank O'Donoghue 19 under. Ray Murphy of St. Anne's 19 under, as is David O'Leary, and that's actually for 54 holes, so we'll try to get you an update on David now shortly. But most of those guys were for 63, so coming towards the back end of their rounds. But this man's very much in the driving seat, and he's got it, so he's got the 30 under. Damien, he may be away and gone here now. It really is looking like he's on his way to another national stroke play title. But again, that's not undermining any of the chasing pack. So well done, Jason. That's a super birdie as well. So 5 in it between these two guys.
A picturesque downhill shot which leads to a flat green, but a big bunker lies just off the right-hand side of the green. Players cannot be short as everything will kick down to the right, heading for the sand trap.
It's a great push. I think he thought he missed that the way the reaction was. I'm not sure. Hard to tell. Now, look at that first shot. Great picture from our cameraman. So everything on this green is going to want to kick from left to right. So realistically, where you've got, I think that's George McCreel bent down looking at the putt, you want to be aiming between George and that tree. That's kind of your target line. As George lines up his putt here, you would think this is for birdie, and we will have an update for you very shortly. That's going to dive, yeah, dived at the hole, left to right. So that's a chance gone by for George, and realistically everything needs to fall from here on in. So as again, another great picture, just shows kind of the undulations in this course and this hole. So Again, 100% concentration needed on every hole, but even more so on this, you could say 110%, because this bunker on the right hand side could easily put you into a spot of bother. So here we are. Club twirl looks good. Chance. The production team getting a little excited there. It looked like it was gonna have a chance at looking in the hole. George McCreel is 24 under par at the moment, so again, not much headway made there. He's not out of it yet, but he's gonna need an exceptional back nine. Jason needs to sit. So again, that just, you see the flag there. The green's just drying out a little bit. But again, Kieran Earls is 25 under par and he's just through to the 13th hole. So Damien looks to be on course. Again, lots can happen in the next kind of 45 minutes, but one would think a man of his quality will be able to see it through. He won't be lying down either though, Jason. But realistically, he has to start putting on pressure now. But we're being treated to some exceptional pitch and putt here. And there's plenty of spectators out on the course. I'm sure we'll get a pan of that now in a few minutes time. There's easily a couple of hundred out on the course, which is great. Taking in the last round for the seniors. So this is definitely going to be swinging from right to left for Jason. But again, pace, and he needs to be careful, because if this is travelling at the hole, it can be very easily 4 or 5 foot back up the hill. That should be okay. He's nearly got it. It's an excellent effort. He's very unfortunate. Now, just that's another great picture the cameraman has of Damien's putt. You can just see it there. It's about 4 or 5 feet. But again, this is not in the hole yet anyways. So maybe a little right to left. Probably that little brown patch about 3/4 of the way. Ball should just fall in. Exactly, there you go. Bang on. Damien, 31 under. And he's putting on an absolute clinic at the moment. Breathtaking.
A tough shot to start the back nine, with trees all up the right-hand side, which can come into play depending on pin position. Green slopes from back to front, meaning players long of the green face a tough challenge.
So here's George. This is for par, I believe. As we see Mark and John Ross Krangle. John Ross might be joining us in a short while for some coverage. Here's Damien. This is a great shot up the hill, 57 metres. And just see that shot, he cuts across and that'll give him a lot of spin. Yeah, and that's fine. So Jason Cregan, he really is the only man that can probably catch Damien at this stage, if there is anyone. He was right to back off there. Yeah, I think there might have been a shout for 4 there, so on the hole behind. looks good, just needs to hang on. That's brilliant, well done. That's a great shot from our cameraman again, playing a blinder. Damien just composing himself. Plenty, I'd imagine, going on through the brain. Such a command and lead with 8 holes to play after this. So this is the last hole we're going to take on this group for a couple of minutes, I believe. And what we'll do is we'll link in on the 14th. So the nice thing about this is that these guys are playing in 2 balls, as you can very clearly see. So they should be fairly quick in terms of transitioning from the 12th down to the 14th, where we'll take back up the coverage as they cross over the car park. So look at that, that's a great picture. The spectators out taking it in. And that's the first one he's missed in a while now. So get this back to 5 if Jason gets this. This is going to swing from right to left hard at the hole. Oh, he's not hit. He's hit it through the break. Hit it through the break. So Jason was red hot with the putter this morning, and that just seems to have dwindled out of him now at the minute. So we're not really sure if he's going to regain that. He's going to have to do it now if he's going to want to win this championship. So as I mentioned, we're going to break away from this group, I believe, at the moment, and join back up in just a couple of moments when we get the cameras repositioned. So do stay with us. As I mentioned earlier on, maybe grab a cup of coffee, cup of tea, couple of biscuits, and come back to us in just a very short break.
Transporter's on 25. Transporter. That there, though. Yeah, we changed them before that. Probably. Oh, I have Monarch.
And you're very welcome back to St. Anne's, as you've just been watching some highlights throughout the course of the morning and afternoon for the last couple of minutes. Just wanted to link back in and give you a bit of an update as to what's going on here at the course. Most of the seniors are concluding their final round, and we do have some scores for 72 holes. Frank Deneen is 26 under. He's still out on the course, so Frank will be hoping to get a couple more on the way in and get himself back into contention. For 72 holes, we have Ray Murphy, the most known as the GOAT, finishing 23 under par. A very respectable score for Ray, considering all the effort and time he would have had to put in this week in terms of preparing St. Anne's, which has been presented brilliant. So well done to Ray. And notable mention to Ian Dillon, also of St. Bridget's, who's finished 23 under also. Another good week for Mr. Dillon. And then after that, then the next in the clubhouse is Brian Delaney from ESB with 20 under par. So still a lot to happen. Frank is fighting out on the course. The guys are going to be joining us again in a couple of moments on the 14th. That's Damien Fleming and Jason Cregan. So as things stand, Damien is 5 shots clear in P1 and looks like he's heading towards another senior stroke play title. So we'll rejoin coverage in just a moment, and we'll take you in then from the 14th till the end of their round with Damien and Jason. We did have some engagement in the group, on the comment section on YouTube, and first of all, just wanted to give a quick shout out to Keith Redmond, watching on in Florida, and he was shouting for George McCreel, so thanks for tuning in, Keith. Really good to have you join us on the stream this afternoon. And then also then we had a question from Betty Blue, which the username I'm assuming, asking which is the most popular ball used by players in pitch and putt. So I suppose the main one that everyone first thinks of is the Pro V1 and the Pro V1X, a very, very popular ball. And then also there you've just seen Daniel Condon earlier on rolling in the Bridgestone ball, and also here with this putt just as you're seeing on screens as well. So Bridgestone would be a very popular ball as well amongst the seniors. The perception is they wouldn't generate as much spin as a Pro V1, and potentially a Commando as well. Commando was mentioned in the comments, it would be used also, but maybe not as popular as it was maybe in the 80s and 90s. There are a couple of other balls that are used, tailor-made. There are also the Titleist AVXs. So yeah, there's several choices of balls, and again, look, I suppose the great thing about this game is that it's not really about the ball, it's about how you impact with either club as you're taking your stroke. And that just goes to show there Jason Cregan, who was on fire with the putter this morning, shot 12 under par on his way to taking second place after 54 holes. So the guys are just about to join us again on the 14th, and again we will give you a flyover of that hole in just a brief moment, which will be just about now.
The longest hole on the course, surrounded by danger as a big sand bunker surrounds the front of the green. Hitting the green is essential as balls can take big bounces with the firm surfaces around the green.
So here we are with Jason on the 14th, 65 metres down the hill, and that looks like it's into the wind now. So Jason has pulled a couple of strokes back between the 11th sorry, the 10th rather, or the 11th and the 14th. Damien has also got another one on the board, so he's in a good position. In terms of the chase and pack, David O'Leary is at 27 under par with 3 holes to play, so Damien is looking like this is all bush over. Based on how he's played today, you have to give credit where it's due. He's absolutely put the field to the sword, and a very, very, very good field at that point too. So there you go. I think we're looking at, just going back to the balls, I think we're looking at both guys using Pro V1X, not Pro V1s, not Pro V1Xs, which would be the red numbers on the ball. That's how you would distinguish that alongside the branding as well. So we've got a couple of putts here for birdie. Again, 2 really good balls into this hole. As you can see, the flag blown, it's into the breeze, so you know you're probably playing this closer to 70 metres, given the fact that you've got the breeze and the bunker in front of you as well. You don't want any part to do with that. We saw Jason Cregan in there earlier on, and to be fair to him, he had a bit of a upslope that he was having to pitch out of the bunker on, and he left it really close. So Jason, the putters seem to heat up since we've last seen him. He'd missed a couple of putts in the front 9 that you may have expected him to get, so he'll be hoping now that the putter does heat up, and he really does. He needs everything on the way in, and that's also needing Damien not to get anything, so it's all or nothing here for Jason. That's took a bobble, but it's got there. It's an excellent putt, so 28, and that is an absolutely superb putt from Jason Cregan. And just all of a sudden, Damien, as much as he wants every single putt, he probably wants this one just a little bit more after seeing that going in. So the clubhouse leader is John Walsh, 29 under. So that's been missed. It actually nearly broke back into the hole. Damien was up and out of that very quick. So he's Damien leading by 3.
The easiest hole in the course, according to Index, is a great opportunity for players to birdie. A short pitch with a flat green, with not too much danger around the green.
So you got your flyover there just a second ago, folks. We joined this group on the 15th. This is, I'd be expecting both of these guys to knock it close. I know given the circumstances it might make it a little bit more difficult, but this should be straightforward. 31 metre pitch. As we take in, you just see there's a couple of bobbles that may have helped Jason, but it was a good putt. The ball was rolling end over end and ended up in the hole, which is the most important thing. So David O'Leary is 28 under par with 1 to play. So he's just got just a correction there. He's 29 under and he's just nailed the 18th. That was the word, quote unquote, nailed the 18th. So he should get to 30. Again, player of Damien's quality. So Jason Cregan be looking to nail this close. Oh, well, that's... Hey, do you know something? He's had that putt earlier on a little bit closer and he absolutely got it. So he nailed it absolutely last time. So Damien's up next. And That's a good ball. Just needs to hold up. That's fine there. Up the hill. So we've got 3 to play after this one. Jason, as I mentioned, he is going to need everything on the way in. But Damien, the caliber player he is, again, so Damien, multiple national winner already, and 2 shots clear rather, and that will probably be extended between now and the end, which again, Jason Cregan really needs this to go in order to keep the pressure up. And just whilst we're waiting on Jason to sort out his housekeeping and line up his push, the presentation for all of this afternoon's winners will take place on a separate stream later on, shortly after we finish up and conclude this afternoon's coverage here on this stream. And that will be shared across the PPOI link page. And that's, oh, it's very close. Jason's very unlucky. Now, not that he's out of it, but that might be the ship sailed there now. So Damien is looking at this. It's going to come from right to left, you would imagine. Oh, he's hit that past the hole, but that's fine. No harm. Was aggressive with the putt up the hill, which was the right thing to do. Gave it a chance. So, there we go. Tidies up, and you'll be expecting Jason to do the same. Once Jason tidies up, we will give you the final overview of the 16th hole, which is one of the better holes in the course, more challenging, and we're going to get that right now.
A flat tee shot which plays on to a flat green means players will be looking to capitalize on a scoring opportunity here. Players cannot be short, and if a ball lands left of the green, players could find themselves in trouble.
And now, this is what faces the guys, the little bridge. This is an absolutely brilliant shot now. Watch this. Superb quality, and that's a great ball in. A shot that matches the picture. Well done to the guys with the cameras there. Absolutely perfect. Damien, that looks like it's on a good line. Yeah, it's just a little bit short, but that's fine. It's on the green. So both putting for birdie again. I think when we take a look at that green again, you'll see that there is a bit of a break in these putts. I think Jason can probably be a little bit more aggressive. More up the hill rather than Damien's. Damien's will swing at the hole. And it'll be swinging from left to right as you guys see it. It'll be right to left for Damien as he's putting. So, up the hill. Same as the last time. Similar distance in terms of where the putt was on the 15th. And sure enough, he'll definitely have a go. He's out of it straight away. Putter's gone a little bit cold for the last 20 minutes or so. But I suppose when you have been putting like Damien has today, and to get to 32 under par in these conditions, you can't really give the man too much stick for missing a couple of putts, as Jason has a chance to close the gap to 3, which he does oblige and does, and that leaves 2 to play. So, you know,
A blind tee shot from the tee box disguises the pot bunker. Green has increased in size, meaning the pitch has become less intimidating and has now become a hole where players will be looking to birdie.
here we are, and there's JR just beside the guys who are taking some fluids on. Another serious competitor, Mr. Kieran Earls, beside Mark Johan, chatting away. Just a full debrief on the round. Kieran with a very respectable score today, and no doubt he'll feel like he wanted to be closer, the competitor that he is, but again, he's the number 1 player in the country at the moment. But all eyes on Damien Fleming with 2 to play. So, do we tempt fate and try say that somebody might have a hole out between now and the end? It's unlikely, but we've had a couple of scares of the hole today. Jason hits a good ball in. That needs to spin, so that's a little bit deep. As you can see, the wind has really picked up here now, so it's downwind. So it just makes that hole a little bit more difficult for the guys. Pot bunker in front of the hole. Or in front of the green, rather. There you go, you can just see it there. I'm hoping that's been raked after the last discussion we had on that bunker. He's put himself in a great spot for a play to Damien. That's a great pitch. Put up the hill. And he can relax and enjoy himself. Yes, there we go. The dreaded bunker. Whoever was in there, it has been raked correctly. Might have to send out a couple of videos on how to rake bunkers. One of the juniors was left with a horrid lie about an hour ago now, after someone failed to rake it correctly. But hey, listen, that's only the minor detail. It's been a fantastic weekend. Well done to everyone involved, production team, members of the course, to get everyone ready. Get everything ready rather. Jason has a putt for birdie here. It's down the hill, needs to go. And as I mentioned a couple of times on the stream today, putting from the fringe or just off the green, you can get those jumps and it just throws the ball totally offline. Now, I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it early. He hasn't had one for a couple of holes. I'm going to say he's going to get this. And just so everyone's aware, Jason is currently lying third for countback purposes. Damien didn't hit it. I thought he would get this one, but didn't hit it. But again, he's in cruise control here. He doesn't need to force the issue, and I think he's letting everyone know. So it'd be nice to see Jason get this and take outright, if he can, second place. Oh, and that's rather unfortunate, but look, to be fair to Jason, he's been absolutely phenomenal. Not a single mistake all day, and that can happen to the best.
The finishing hole has many dangers. Bunkers short and left of the green. Green slopes from right to left towards the bunker, which will add for a bit of excitement for the final hole of the championship.
So, here we are. The last hole of what have been what has been an incredible 2025 National Strokeplay Championships. Again, I think it's an appropriate time. You see some pictures being taken in the background with Anthony Malone, a couple of the locals. I think it's the most appropriate time as we look back on that push from Jason. It's just rather unfortunate. It's easy done. We all missed him, buddy. We all missed him. But I think it's the appropriate time to just send our well wishes to our colleague again in what was a horrible incident yesterday that transpired on the course. But we're very happy to report he's in good hands at UCC, and we're hearing nothing but positive things since. So our well wishes to him, and well done again to everyone involved. Absolutely fantastic work, and this was great to watch on. This is all secondary to our friend, who we wish well in his recovery, and well done to the guys again. So this is the last shot off the tee for the 2025 championships, and it's for Jason Cregan. Spin. It's a good ball, and very well deserves a bullabus. So just as we see the guys head up towards the 18th green for the last time, just another reminder that our presentation will take place shortly after. That won't happen on this stream. It will be on a separate stream on the PPUI page, and that will be shared, I'm sure, in the next couple of moments. So do make sure to link in and join us in our celebrations of the victors. And Damien Fleming is going to add another senior title to his impressive trophy cabinet, and that's a fantastic view. The patrons taking in what is the final hole of this championships. I think there's been many highlights this weekend, Damien being one of them. This putt's going to break from left to right, so I'm hoping Jason can nail this and get himself back into a place, as that took him out of the placings. Well done, good man Jason, well done buddy, back to 29 under. And that really does put him in a strong position to place. I believe that will be him finishing third. And here's Damien. And this is absolutely irrelevant now, but he'll be looking to sink it. And he does. Brilliant. Well done. Damien Fleming, 33 under par for 72 holes. What a competitor. And that is the end of the National Strokeplay Championships. Damien Fleming, your 2025 senior champion. And to be fair, this has been over for the last hour. He's really blown everyone away. A serious field, and he's really put them to the sword, as we mentioned. And I think it's an appropriate time to mention Cian Mulcahy, intermediate winner, 17 under par for 72 holes, which was absolutely unbelievable to watch. He shot 9 under on his final 18 to take home that title. So that was really good to see. Pat Sheehan shooting 12 under in the junior section, winning by an impressive 11 shots. So they're the winners, the junior, the intermediate and the senior. Damien Fleming, a worthy champion. And look at that, that's what it's all about. We're all one big family, one big community, and this is what we all get up out of bed for. We can all celebrate the victors, but again, these are secondary to what we all value, being able to get up and go, hit a ball, play some pitch and push. Doesn't matter what your standard is. You could be playing off 18, you could be playing off +1. This game is for everyone. And that's a great sight to see. And it's great to see as well all the other senior players who were competing at the weekend coming over and shaking Damien's hand and showing fair play. there you go. You can see we're getting set up now for the presentation, which will take place very shortly. So, many congratulations. Plenty of well-known faces. There he is, the GOAT himself, Mr. Ray Murphy. Well done to yourself, sir. You had an excellent display over the weekend. He was putting in some serious work in terms of getting the course ready for the finals. And that obviously took away from his practice. So, well done to him. There he is. Well done, Damien. Taken in. There's John as well. Well done to John. Very strong display from him. So, the Cork patrons with a very, very respectable set of scores for the Cork players. And we are going to, in a very short while, take in Damien's interview on the course. That's brilliant. There's Gus as well. Look at this. Fantastic to see. Massive well done. And listen, we hope you enjoyed the coverage as well over the course of the day. We would have hoped to bring you more coverage yesterday, but that just wasn't possible given the situation. But we hope we've made up for it today. And there you are, Damien again has made this look very, very straightforward, and it hasn't been. This has been a tough course, guys. This has been, you know, so difficult. Even hitting greens, you could be in the wrong spot on the green and all of a sudden you're off the green, you're pitching back up into spots and you're looking at serious scores. So
test this 1 2 3. Test this 1 2 3.
Well done. And
test this one.
Everyone congratulating Damien, rightly so. And we will be taken in now in a second. But just an opportunity to remind everyone, we do have the Senior Ladies Strokeplay Championships next week. The National Ladies Strokeplay Championships, that is, and that's on in the McDonagh course in County Kildare. The guys will be providing coverage on the final day also for that. But that being said, if you're around, get up to the course. It's in fantastic condition. Credit to Stephen Murphy, McDonagh greenkeeper. There's the course in great nick.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming to the conclusion of a fantastic weekend here in St Anne's Pitch Putt Club in Cork. I am joined by the president of Pitch Putt Ireland, Mr. David Redden. David, a fantastic weekend, a great conclusion to what could have been such a different story.
Correct, right, Frank. It could have been a disastrous situation, but thankfully everything has turned out so well. And the incident which occurred yesterday, the man is making quite good, he's coming back to fitness, so I'm told anyway, making a full recovery, and that has to be a plus all round. Excellent.
A fantastic venue, a fantastic event. You must be happy.
Oh, look, very, very happy. If this is the trend that's going to continue for the next 2 years of my reign as president, it has to be that I'm over the moon about it. I can't say anything bad about it. It was terrific.
Excellent. There was over 400 people on the course today, and we had another 420 tuned in live on Facebook and YouTube. A fantastic event as well. Overall, I think we Full-Time Productions have done a great job, as well as the crew of volunteers.
Correct. 100%, Frank. You know as well as I do, we've been treading ground about this for a long time. And now to put it into what we call pasture is brilliant. It's brilliant for the game. The viewers, if whoever's not able to come here, unfortunately, through different reasons, they can get it on their YouTube afterwards. And this is, I think, the line that we should stay on.
Excellent. And the course absolutely held up well. And, of course, the standard of play was spectacular at all grades.
Oh, it's amazing. There's some scoring coming in there, and I think it's not a scissors that we want for some of the scores I've seen from some of the other grades. Maybe a combine harvester wouldn't go astray.
Perfect. As long as you don't cut me, that's all good.
No problem, Frank. You're welcome.
Next, we'll be joined by
Thanks very
Pat
much.
Sheehan, who's the junior winner. Thank you very much, Mr. President. I do appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
How's it?
Pat Ian. Absolutely delighted for you, Pat. A fantastic result. Tough day yesterday. You struggled, especially on the front nine, but it all came together today for you.
It did, yeah, yeah, everything. Jesus, I pitched over the biscuit today. Yeah, I'm happy with it, and I'm happy for everything I got I got over the line.
Excellent. Hopefully it was all the coaching during the week.
I don't know, I was just going to say, if I wasn't up here during the week when practice was on, I put it down to you for coach, to be frank. That's the truth.
No, absolutely, Pat. Great for the family, for Decky, for all of your close friends as well. Martin and Eddie, the bold Eddie, Coach Eddie, the gang, and you're stalwarts of the club, and fantastic event for you as well.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say to keep us going?
Yeah, well, I just want to say, where do we start? Big congratulations to all the ground staff, everyone that put in the hard work,
Yeah.
And TNEC, everyone.
Yeah. My mic is off. Actually, brilliant, Pat. Thank you very much, and we wish you the best luck and delighted for a St. Anne's win. Great show by the local club. Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to say, hope that man makes a speedy recovery from what happened yesterday.
Thank you.
And thanks to everyone that helped him.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. Next, we'll be joined by Cian Mulcahy. Next, we will be joined by Cian Mulcahy from the local Cons Club, the worthy and fantastic intermediate champion. Well done, Cian. You must be so proud and delighted.
Absolutely delighted, yeah. I didn't think it was going to go my way at all after the first 36 holes. And today started poor. And second round today was just, once I got my pitching going at all, it was non-stop.
I heard your pitching was immaculate today, absolutely brilliant, top class, senior standard all the way, I heard.
Yeah, once I got going it was alright, but senior standard is a different ball game altogether.
Yeah.
But
fantastic display all day, Cian, and we're just delighted for you and for the Cons Club as well. Such close allies of the St. Anne's team as well, and all Cork is delighted, and the country is privileged and delighted to witness what we saw today. So well done to you. Anything you want to say to your family or anything else?
Yeah, just to all the supporters that came up and supported me, thank you very much. And to the St. Anne's Club, unbelievable course. Everything was perfect. The greets were immaculate, and that's it. I wish St. Anne's the best of luck in the future, and that's all I have to say.
Brilliant stuff, and we'll hear your speech in a minute anyway as well, so it'll be all good. Thank you very much. And now, finally, for our interview pre the presentation, a great friend of St. Anne's, a great friend of pitch and putt, a stalwart in the game. Absolutely delighted for you, Damien.
Thank you.
Champion again, you must be thrilled.
Yeah, you never know if it's going to happen again. They're not easy to win, so it's nice to get one over the line. Yeah, especially here. I like St. Anne's. It's been a happy hunting ground for me, so it's nice to get it done. Played solid all weekend, so it was
excellent. Were you lagging a bit towards the end?
100%.
Yeah,
100%. I kind of knew when I made the putt in 12, it was going to be hard to catch me from there. So I think I hit all the greens coming home and just. I knew in the last I could have my moments. So
we'll give you some putting lessons later.
John did say go out if I shot a 48, it would probably be enough. So I was thinking that put over the last thing, but I'll probably get this now. Just see what he said.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'd know 4 all weekend. That's a massive advantage. So
it's a huge difference.
Yeah.
A pleasure playing as well with Jason in the final.
Yeah, look, myself and Jason, we're good friends. I've been in that position before. I suppose out in final rounds with lads well. But look, Jason's a national champion in waiting. It's only a matter of time before he wins one. He's super talent. I know with the lab, he's looking for a sponsorship deal there at the lab. I've had the exhibition of putting. She's unbelievable putter. He's probably as good as you, Frank. Maybe better.
No, it's absolutely a pleasure to witness what we saw today as well. And the format suited you, I think, over the longer stretch, did it?
Yeah, I suppose. Look, it was a bit tricky yesterday. Look, obviously, I suppose the most important thing yesterday was that gentleman was okay,
Absolutely.
So it sounds stupid, but it kind of gave me a different sense coming up here. It was kind of to be appreciative of the fact that we were able to play the game. I suppose I've always been very comfortable with Frank O'Donoghue playing as well, and John Farrell was a lovely 3-ball, and we were just got on well. And I was comfortable in that, And then when I heard it was the same today, it was just, It was. I just felt comfortable out playing, you know, and I putted well. I know it didn't
Frank
look like
said,
there in
no,
the last
Frank
6
said
holes,
that,
but
that he pitched as good as you. Is what
oh,
is what he
100%,
said.
yeah, 100%.
But he said your putting was exceptionally
Yeah,
good
it
yesterday
was-
and aggressive.
yeah, it was good. And like to be honest, like Frank said to me this morning, if you hit the putts, you make them. I knew coming home if I hit a few of them, I'd make them, but I just wasn't going to hit them. Like there was no
Oh,
need,
of
you know.
course, yeah, no, that's, you play what's in front of you.
Yeah, so like look, I was comfortable enough. I thought coming out 28 might win it. Like as it turns out, 30 wouldn't need 30, but I thought 28 before we started playing yesterday. I thought 28 was the figures, you know. So
Yeah.
no, it's nice. Look, it's great to win them.
And
It's nice, and John
great-
Manning will tell me the stats, but it's nice to be in that bracket now with John Jen and Sean Downs, because that was something I wanted to get to for a while, you know. So
Absolutely. Brilliant for the family as well.
yeah,
for
it's
your-
great to have one of my daughters up watching the camogie, which isn't going too well, but that's okay too. Sure, look,
Yeah,
we'll
that's
clear her
okay.
tonight.
And James, a great supporter of Pitch and Putt,
Yeah.
and the family of Pitch and Putt is an important one as well. So we have to remember our sponsors and people who.
100%, yeah. And look, in fairness to Kerry lads, we're very close. Like we're a close bunch down. I know people mightn't believe that, but we are actually close. Like so, we genuinely like. Obviously, I wanted to win today, but if I had lost to Jason Cregan, I'd have shook his hand and I'd been delighted for him, you know. So because it would have been good for Kerry Pitch and Putt, and that's ultimately what we're trying to achieve in Kerry. Like you know what our aim is.
Absolutely.
I know I'm winning here today, but our aim is obviously being into county, and that will continue to be our aim until we win it.
Yeah.
We'll keep striving to get to that point. But I think 4 Kerry lads in the final 18. I think that's.
Yeah.
I said that to Jason Goddard. That was a great achievement for us coming out of Kerry. You know?
Absolutely. And Darren had a tough sleep last night. It was tough for
He
him.
has. It's learning. I know they mentioned this morning that he had a run in Castletown. That was the good all. That wasn't Darren.
I know that, yeah.
But Darren is like that's it's all learning. Jason to be in the position he was in after 2 rounds. Darren to be in the position he was in after 1 round. That's all learning for Kerry, and that's only going to benefit Kerry, which is ultimately what I want in the game.
Absolutely delighted for you, Damien.
Thanks, Frank.
Deserved. Well
Thanks
deserved.
a million. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have the presentation now in a few moments, and hopefully everything will go well. And thanks for joining in, and bear with us.
Hello everyone. Thanks so much. It's unbelievable to see so many people here from 8 o'clock this morning until now. It's been a long weekend. Before I go any further, I just want to mention Brendan Creed. It puts everything into perspective. It gives us all a wake-up call to not be moaning about missing 2-foot putts or kind of small problems that we have. Thank God he's all well. We all send him our love, thoughts, prayers, and hopefully we'll see him at many more of these events in the future. I'd just like to thank the NEC. These are always long weekends. They're headaches for trying to organise formats, etc., cards, pairings, times, going behind times. So I'd like to thank all the NEC members who came down yesterday morning and stayed until this evening. Safe journey home to the NEC, and thanks really for the great competition. A special thanks to St. Anne's Committee and the wider club. Since we found out that we got this championship, which we were delighted to get, it's an absolute privilege. We put in an enormous amount of work, an enormous amount of financial contribution, and everyone to a T, from everyone on the committee to every single member here, stood up in some way, shape or form, whether it was giving an hour here or there, cutting greens, cutting banks, buying flowers, everything. I couldn't be any prouder of the committee, I couldn't be any prouder of St. Anne's Club, and I think we put on a great show, and it was a privilege to have you all down here. So to the club, to the members of my committee, to every single member, we are all grateful and thanks a million. As a club, it's hugely important to us that the juniors, the intermediates and the seniors are treated equally. And since we got this since day one, that's all we wanted, was to have all three grades playing in a championship course with an atmosphere like this, and I think that was achieved. So, it's the greatest privilege of my pitch and putt life to be chairman of this great club, and to host an All-Ireland in first year chairmanship. It was a baptism of fire, but without the committee, without my fellow club mates, we wouldn't have been able to do what we've done. So just to finish up, well done to all the winners, especially your own Pat Sheehan, which is on a selfish note, so well done Pat, but well done to all winners. The pitch putt out there was great, the atmosphere was great, the production, the YouTube production was absolutely fantastic. Towards the end of the evening I got very lazy, so we did watch it on the couch, on the telly, which was very welcomed. But well done to all the winners, well done to everybody who qualified, and thanks a million to the NEC, and safe journey home everyone. Thanks a million.
The next speaker will be the President of the Pitch Putt Ireland, and that's Dave Renton.
Thanks very much, Anthony. To follow on from the chairman of the club, thanks very much, Anthony, because he stole my speech now. But anyway, just from yesterday, I wasn't here yesterday unfortunately, but from an incident that occurred, I did get worried about it. It could have been a disastrous situation, but thankfully for the quick reaction from two guys in particular that I heard about, and the staff in general, how they worked with everybody that was here, it's good news all around. The gentleman in question is making a nice recovery, and shortly and hopefully soon we'll see him back on his 2 feet, back playing pitch and putt with us again. So on behalf of the NEC, myself and the rest of my colleagues here, we wish him the very, very best and a speedy recovery. To the St. Anne's Club, I knew coming down here that what it would be like. I wouldn't have to send anybody to do an inspection. It's always in tremendous conditions and will test everybody. It didn't test me though years ago, and I did play here last, but I didn't play that well either, so it didn't matter. But to all the staff here, Charlie, the chairman, the ladies in the kitchen in particular for keeping us going as well over the last 2 days, looking after everybody, to the staff that work behind the scenes to have the course like that, on behalf of again the NEC, thank you very, very much for a course well turned out for a championship of this nature. Thanks very much. To the supporters who are here, and unfortunately to those who aren't here, but we have our streaming guys with us again for the Strokeplay, which we had for the international last week, and it's been a fine success story so far. I'm hoping that we'll get the ladies Strokeplay next weekend when they take to the field in McDonagh, and this is our way forward. It's absolutely brilliant. The coverage there is like watching the Dublin Horse Show. You can make out everybody clearly on the screen. There's no worrying who this is or who that is. Absolutely brilliant. So to the guys from the streaming company, thank you very, very much for being with us as well today, lads, and making this competition such a success. And finally, to all of you, thank you for being here, as I say. Thank you to all the entries that we had in the competition from start to finish. That it's not just all about winners or losers. It takes every type to make the competition a success. So thank you very much to all of you that entered, to those that played the course here in the actual 2 days. I hope if you did have a bad putt that you missed, or you didn't play well, keep it to yourself, because I don't want to hear any complaints with a course like that. It's absolutely superb. I have to come back to it. And a safe journey home from me and my colleagues to each and every one of you. And we look forward to seeing you again shortly, hopefully in McDonagh for the ladies. But if you don't happen to be there, don't worry about it. You can always turn into your YouTube or the streaming guys and we'll have it up to date for you. So thanks very much indeed.
Now I'd like to call on our national coordinator, Pádraig O'Shea, to announce the winners.
Thanks, Anthony. And in the junior section, in third place, Porcor of Bagnallstown with a score of 215.
Oh, I met you before, didn't I?
In runner-up position, William Fitzgerald from Fermoy. And the winner with a superb score of 204, Pat Sheehan of St. Anne's.
You'll be shy when you're filling that cup later on.
Speech, Pat.
I'd just like to thank everyone that that came up to this beautiful course. I'd like to thank Ray and all the staff, the girls for doing all the kitchen work, the NEC, and I just hope your man makes a speedy recovery from what happened yesterday. Cheers, thanks.
In the intermediate gents, in third place, Aidan Spence Murphy of Claycastle. Runner-up, Killian Courtney of Deer Park. And the winner of the intermediate gents, Cian Mulcahy from Collins.
First of all, I'd like to thank St. Anne's Club for having the course in superb condition. It was an absolute privilege to play in the course all weekend. To the NEC, thanks very much for running such a smooth event. It's always a pleasure to play in. To the ladies in the kitchen, thanks very much for looking after each and every one of us. And to all the supporters that came up and watched me play over the weekend, it's greatly appreciated. And special mention to two people mostly, to my old man for the old lesson this morning, and to John Walsh for the putting lesson. It seemed to work, and yeah, that's all I have to say. Safe home to all the supporters.
In the senior section, and a qualifier for next year, David O'Leary of Douglas in 4th place. In 3rd place, Jason Cregan of Tralee. Runner-up, John Walsh from Collins. And the Jens Strokeplay champion for 2025, Damien Fleming of Deer Park.
Mr. President, members of the NEC, members of the St. Anne's Committee. I think Ray mentioned last year when he won in Cashel, he didn't think he'd win one again. I was beginning to think that, even though it was only 4 years ago. They're not easy won. Like I said, they're not easy won. But I'm delighted to win another one. Just want to thank St. Anne's. There's one man has been mentioned, lads, and I think that's Ray Murphy. That course out there is clinical. We all could take a lesson from Ray's dedication to this place over, I'd say, the last 7 or 8 years. Sometimes maybe more than anyone else do it. Down to the lovely job that Reed's this morning. But no, Ray, fair play. I know you probably, by your own admissions, would have preferred it to be a little better, but in fairness, it stood up great over the weekend, and you couldn't fault the place over the weekend, so fair play. To the NEC, it's not easy to run these competitions. It's a long weekend, so fair play, and we do appreciate it. I keep my comments to myself regarding the format. I'm not sure. The jury's out for me on that one. I'm not sure what the idea. I'm not sure what the idea of losing a Junior B championship. I'm not sure what the idea of having to drop numbers to accommodate. But look, hopefully that can be looked into. Maybe it can be something to be looked at in the year ahead. But fantastic one competition. So that's the main thing. And to my own family, it's not easy to play at the level we play. I know people think it's just a case of we turn up. There's a lot of work goes in. My wife has to put up with an awful lot. To be honest with you, because I have to put up so much time, and the kids absolutely hate pitching puddings at this stage. One thing, I want to dedicate that to Kevin McCann. We lost him this year, he's gone too soon, and that's for Kevin.
I'd now like to call on Charlie to accept the plaque on behalf of the St. Anne's Club. And will all the prize winners please wait so you can get your photographs taken. Thank you very much.
So that does conclude this weekend's presentation after all of our winners were presented with their trophies and medals. Very congratulations to all the winners. Really appreciate everyone taking the time to join us here on the stream this morning and this afternoon. From Philip and all the team here, I'd like to say thank you. Very safe journey home to everyone that did travel. Take care, and hopefully we'll see you next week in McDonough for the ladies National Stroke Play. Take care. Bye bye now.